Universalist Fellowship in Laguna Beach. My name is Dara Skarecky, and I will be serving as the worship associate this morning. Our Zoom and audiovisual techs today are Don West Jr. and Pam Flodman, and our music will be led by our talented music director, Carole. This morning, we are delighted to welcome to the UUFLB one of our members, Harry Baya, who has spoken a few times, and we are excited to hear what he chooses to speak about this Sunday. His topic this morning is a moment in the stream of consciousness. The description that he has given is sometimes a triggering experience can cause our mind to go into an automatic pilot mode to generate what we say. This talk will suggest something we can learn from these experiences. Thank you, Harry, for deciding to speak about this topic. Each Sunday, anywhere there is a service held in a Unitarian Universalist congregation, a chalice is lit. The flaming chalice is the symbol of our faith. If you have joined us this morning by Zoom, I invite you to light a chalice within your home as Harry lights the chalice for us here at the UUFLB. I will read the chalice lighting words titled, "We Hold That Moment in Our Spirit." It was written by Adam Slate, a UU Ministerial Fellowship candidate, currently serving an internship at Rosslyn Hill Unitarian Chapel in London, and pursuing a Master of Divinity at Phillips Theological Seminary. When the great mosaic of humanity is treated with respect and dignity, when no person is threatened by hunger or war, when we have extended hospitality to the stranger and tended to the sick, when equity and justice reign everywhere, then we shall all be free. We light this flame to hold that moment in our spirit and in our minds until we can make it real. Thank you, Harry, for lighting our chalice this morning to begin our time of worship. Throughout the service this morning, if you are here with us in the building, I invite you, if you wish, to come forward and light a candle here in the sanctuary in recognition of whatever you are carrying in your heart as you join us for worship today. At UUFLB, we are a welcoming congregation. Whoever you are, whomever you love, no matter your age, your gender, your ancestral or ethnic background, and whatever sincere questions that you bring with you today. Whatever has brought you here this morning, we welcome you to our community of mutual caring and serious intent to grow as spiritual and ethical beings. As we begin our service, we acknowledge that the land on which we join together in worship is the ancestral and unceded territory of the Ahashiman and Tongva tribes. We acknowledge these indigenous peoples as traditional land caretakers who claim their place and act as stewards to protect their ancestral lands and the earth as they have for the past 1,000 years. We offer our gratitude to the First Nations for their care of the earth and for their teachings, and with humility, we commit to learning and working on behalf of justice. Many thanks to everyone at UUFLB who works together each week to create opportunities for us to worship together and to be together in community. Our board, our worship committee, and everyone who helps to prepare each week for our Sunday morning worship services and other events, such as the Zoom and noon discussion group. We also know that there are always more opportunities to work together and more to be done. So if you are looking for a way to becoming more involved, please reach out. For those of you who are new to our community, please connect with us after service if you would like to be added to our email mailing list so that you can receive advance notice of each service and other events. Connecting with each other is the way in which we build community as a strong base from which we can go out and make a difference in the world. It's such a joy for us to have guests on Sunday mornings. If you are here this morning for the first or second time, we'd like to get to know you. If you are comfortable doing so, would you please stand and share with us your name, where you are from, and what brings you to visit our church today? We will start first with those attending Zoom, and then those who are here in the building. Is there anybody in the building who would like to introduce themselves?
Hi, I'm Mary, and I live in Laguna, and I've gone to Unity-type churches over the last 25, 30 years in various places, and I walk my dog all over, and I've seen this building, and I said, one day I'm going to go there, so that would be today.
Hello, my name is Kristen. I live in Newport, and I decided to come because I'm interested in religious practice and what that looks like in the 21st century.
Morning, everyone. I'm Elizabeth. I live here in Laguna Beach. I grew up going to a Unitarian Universalist church in Northern California in the Central Valley. So it's nice to be back in my 40s now. Anyone else?
Now let's take just a moment to return to our neighbors for a quick greeting and offer personal welcome to old and new friends. I picked it up. That was why I kind of offered you to stay up here.
I'm doing physical therapy for balance. I have this little set of steps. One side goes up like this far, the other side goes like this far. What they want me to do is to walk over without holding on to anything, and down and back up again. It's a challenge.
I can
Holding on, I'm okay.
Yeah, I don't like walking.
But changing step heights is weird.
Yeah, I have to hold on to I've fallen down the stairs. Thank you all for joining us here at UUFLB this morning. We hope that everyone has a few minutes to stay and enjoy coffee and conversation after the service. And if you are visiting us this morning, please let us know if you would like to be added to our email mailing list so that you can receive advance notice of each service and other events. On the slide that Dawn will put up for us is information about upcoming services here at UUFLB, which I actually do not know what they are yet. Next week, we have Yvette McDonald coming, and then we have Caesura Cardona, and then Don West Jr. will be the next week doing a continuation on our discussion on repentance and repair, which was a book we read this summer. And so we will be just continuing the last few chapters and letting more people talk about it. So that is what we will be doing for that third Sunday past this. Now we have announcements that are tomorrow. We will be fixing a postponement of our board meeting that was supposed to be last week. that we decided that will be this week. There's also a worship board meeting, uh, worship board meeting on Tuesday night. And I will also inform every Monday there is a Zoom at noon meeting. And once the first Thursday of every month, there is we give food for the homeless at the assisted living, alternate sleeping location. If you are interested in doing that this coming month in September, come to multiple people like Pam, me, or Candy. Thank you. The gathering music was Everything is Beautiful. This version that was chosen by Harry was sung by Dolly Parton and Willie Nelson, Dolly Parton is someone who, every time I learn something about her, I am even more convinced that she is a perfect human and that we should all strive to be like her. This song embodies our first principle. We affirm and promote the inherent worth and dignity of every person, but also our seventh principle. We affirm and promote respect for the interdependent web of all existence, of which we are a part. Our centering thought this morning is from the Gray Hymnal, reading 418, adapted words from Israel Zangwili, a British author. I do not have these words, so I'm going to read them, and you are going to hear me say them. Come into the circle of love and justice. Come into that community of mercy, holiness, and health. Come, and you shall know peace and joy. Our opening hymn this morning is Somewhere Over the Rainbow. For those of you who are joining by Zoom, the lyrics will be on the screen. For those in person, the lyrics are printed out and in the back of the sanctuary, next to the hymnals and the overhear service. Please stand if you wish and join with Harry and Phyllis, who will lead us a cappella in singing.
Actually, I'm going to change this a little bit today. What we hope to do is, ordinarily we have Carole play with us, which is badly needed for one reason, is to tell us what pitch to sing at so we aren't somewhere we can't sing. And secondly is, many times we don't know the tune very well, and without the piano we'd be lost. But today I asked Carole to not play on this song, and I would like to try and get you all to come forward, if you could, sort of in a little group around me. I hate being asked to do things like that, so if you feel you'd rather stay in your seat, please do. I might be one of you staying there. But if you could sort of line up so that we're all facing, Phyllis and I are going to lead it, so if you want to be around us. And are the words going to be on the screen, or do you have them? Yeah, the words should be on the screen. I have some handouts just in case. Okay. So the idea is that this is a cappella group sing. Phyllis and I are your leaders, but we hope to be drowned out, or that's kind of hard to do, but try. And I have to pick the pitch, which could be interesting if I get it too high or too low. Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I heard of once in a lullaby. Somewhere over the rainbow,
Let us take a moment to remind ourselves why we come together as a community. I invite you to read these words together when and if it feels right for you. If you wish, please unmute your microphone so that we can feel the power when we join our voices together. The words of the unison affirmation will be on your screens. Please join in the reading. Join me in reading. Love is, may we be reminded here of our
Of our
highest
highest
aspiration and
aspiration and
inspired
inspired to bring
to
our
bring
gifts of
love
love
and
and
service
service
to the
to the
altar
altar
of
of
humanity.
humanity.
May
May
we
we know once
once
again
that we
that
are
we are
not
not
isolated
isolated
beings, but
beings, but
connected
connected in
in
mystery and miracle to the universe,
this
to this
community,
community,
and to each
and
other.
to each other.
We have come to the time in our service to briefly share the important events that have touched our lives in the past week. Our joys, when shared, are magnified, and in sharing our sorrows, we provide the support and care that are vital for all of us in community. During this time of sharing our joys and concerns, we have paused the recording of the service. I guess we have another joy or sorrow to be able to receive. In this self-governing and self-sustaining community, we recognize that it is a responsibility to do both well. As we approach the time for our offering, we invite you to give what you will for the work of this fellowship that means so much to each of us, that has meant so much for those who came before us, and that will mean so much to those who may join us in the future and to the work that we can do together. Give what you will, for we are a generous people. Our fellowship depends on the love and generous contributions from our members. We are empowered by innumerable gifts of those who join in covenant with us: time, compassion, humor, and financial contribution. And all of our gifts, generously given, are needed for this fellowship and for its continued good work in the world. During this time of offering, we will be passing a basket within the fellowship. The information on your screen provides 2 additional ways in which you can give, either electronically or by sending a check to the fellowship. Please join us now in singing to each other words of sincere gratitude. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live. You can make a circle, but
Or stand
I
as
think
you're
we have enough
comfortable.
people for that today.
Stand as you're comfortable and make a circle if you'd like. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live. From you I receive, to you I give, together we share, and from this we live.
Morning. I'm Harry Baya. I'm a member of this church, and this is my chance to share things with you. I may have a surprise somewhere along the line. Let's see. Okay. The other title for my talk is Conscious Moments That Can Change Lives. My goal for this presentation is to create in others an experience that I have recently found useful and to have them notice the potential benefit. The experience occurs between A, the moment an individual is triggered by something, and B, the moment they begin to respond to that trigger. So what is the potential benefit of being aware of such moments? Aha! I am giving this presentation in hope that you can see the potential benefit and take advantage of it. Here is the benefit. If you can become aware of such moments, I suggest that it's possible in that instant to do the following. Notice that you are in such a moment. Be aware of what the automatic pilot you is about to say. The idea is that when you're triggered, your mind goes into automatic pilot and says things, and you aren't actually in control. And if you can become aware of this, at least it happens for me, Phyllis suggests it may only happen for me, so we'll have to think about that for yourselves. In that moment, you can decide whether or not to respond differently. In other words, you don't have to let the automatic pilot run if you can catch it. That's the idea. We have now covered all the main things I'm hoping to communicate to you today, so I'm going to stop and review them. 1, you can be triggered by an event, often something someone says to you, that causes your mind to flip into an automatic pilot mode and produce words that you are not consciously choosing. 2, it is possible to become aware of such experiences. They are often easy to see in hindsight. In other words, after they're over, you can look back and say, oh, wow, I just went into automatic pilot and said what I said. If you can become aware of that moment while you're in it, while you're in that moment, you can sometimes choose to respond with something other than the words your automatic pilot would have said. So that's the main thought for today that I'm trying to communicate. Hopefully you now have a verbal understanding of my message. I now hope to give you an understanding with some basis in experience. I think of this as visceral understanding, deeper in your mind and body than words. So be prepared, be warned, I'm going to try and give you such experiences. Let's consider such moments. A stream of consciousness can be seen as experiencing a series of time periods of any length. We're going to focus on a very short one, moments. I read an article by a woman hoping to compete on the trampoline in the Olympics that I felt identified something like this kind of moment. Here are her words. I've dreamed of competing in the Olympics for as long as I can remember. A trampoline routine is made up of 10 skills, each consisting of a double or triple flip, with countless twists and shapes in between. All 10 must be performed consecutively, the positions precise, no repeats, toes pointed. I was addicted to chasing perfection in the air. The thrill of learning a new skill, refining it, and putting it in a routine was my life's purpose for almost 2 decades. But as exhilarating as the skills were, it was in the bounces right before the moments of pure suspension that I found my freedom. At the start of every routine, you have to build up to a full height. You bounce, each jump building on the one before until you are launching skyward with such speed and energy that not even gravity can keep its grip on you. You finally reach your peak, close to 30 feet in the air, and float for just a millisecond. I would intentionally place my exhales there, making this moment feel something like meditation before rushing back down to earth. And she doesn't mention the fact while rushing back down to earth, she's going to do her routine that will decide whether she gets a medal or not. So I would intentionally place my exhales here, making this moment feel something like meditation before rushing back down to earth. Poets call it a Caesura, C-A-E-S-U-R-A. I'd never seen that word before I read this article, a Caesura. An intentional pause between two phrases in the case of poetry, a clear recognition of a before and after. With the unimaginable stress of qualifying for the Olympics, I found solace in these moments of levitation. So she was able to notice and live in that moment between reaching the peak of her jump and starting to come down and do all the things she had to do, which you might think of as partly automatic pilot. She let go of her brain and said, go. This presentation is about moments, Caesura moments, that exist between triggering events and your response. Here are some examples. For me, the most common trigger response moment occur when someone says something to me that annoys me or angers me. I notice that I often respond with words of no forethought, Remember, I often notice this after it's happened, not while it's happening. I describe this as having my mind go into a kind of automatic pilot mode. I react. The words are spontaneous, unchosen. I call this being triggered. In the past, I was likely to be aware of the fact that my response was automatic, that I was not consciously choosing what to say. In the past, I was unlikely to be aware of the fact that I was automatic. That would just happen. I am now more likely to notice such trigger-automatic pilot experiences, though usually with hindsight. On many occasions, I found that my response created a new problem. My response was often sarcastic or hostile. I had to deal with the reaction it caused. Johnny Cash sings a song called Foolish Questions. The first verse describes a conversation between two men who meet in the street. How are you doing? Not well. I'm just coming from Uncle Ned's funeral. Is Ned dead? Trigger. The response is, no, Ned thought he'd have the funeral, and then later on sometimes he would die. You know, that's the trigger response, the sarcastic, hostile response. So I do that. I could tell you all sorts of examples, and maybe I'm the only one who really has this problem as bad as I do, but I reply to many triggers like that without thought. Usually my reply is sarcastic or hostile and attempts to communicate that the question and the one who asked it are stupid. Let's say I'm having a conversation with someone cooking our dinner. I mention that I bought a device and paid for extra insurance protection. I then say that I am upset to find the extra insurance just extends the time of warranty coverage and does not make it cover more problems, which is what I needed. The cook, who was not paying close attention to me, responds, oh, did the warranty run out? My automatic pilot causes me to say, sarcastically, yeah, I just bought this thing and the 3-year warranty expired overnight the day I bought it. Boy, does that annoy me. That's a typical automatic pilot response from me. And then, of course, the person I'm talking to may not accept that well and may come back at me. So this happens often enough that I begin to notice it. And the idea is that if I can notice it before I say that, I won't make this sarcastic, hostile remark, and I could say things like, no, things are not just working out the way I want. I don't have to get into the fact that they weren't paying close attention to every word I said. So that's the essence of what I'm trying to communicate today. Tell me why you're not listening to me. Now, did you notice the automatic pilot? Did you have any words pop into your head when I said that to you just then? That's an example of this trigger. Somebody hits you with something that's a little hostile or you don't like it, and your mind pops before you have a chance to think. And then you didn't respond to me. I appreciate that. But I could spend some time giving you more examples, but I hope you've assimilated the idea enough to notice potential Caesura moments in your own life. Why are you looking at me like that? There's another one for you to play with. Can you feel it at all? Can you see that trigger hit? I don't have any more of those, so I won't yell at you again. I read articles talking about similar insights related to pausing to think about the next step you may take before it. This is not my creation. This is nothing original. This whole concept has been pursued. I am proud of adopting the word Caesura to the perspective of my work. As I prepared for this talk, I kept reading articles and I kept seeing things I thought were relevant to this. And when I hit that one with the Caesura moment, I thought, yeah, that's catching that moment, you know. So here are some other things I caught reading during preparing. A columnist writing about emotions included a paragraph that I think relates to this trigger response perspective. In this situation, the triggering event occurs when a camper sees a bear approaching, a wild bear. The body kicks into gear, and then the mind constructs an emotional experience. It feels like we get scared and start running from the bear. But as the psychologist William James brilliantly intuited over a century ago, it's more accurate to say we start running from the bear and then we get scared. Oh, say I, this explains why it's so hard to catch that moment when you're triggered. The moment in which you become aware that the automatic pilot is kicking in actually occurs after the pilot is active. In other words, the trigger occurs, the response occurs before you're even aware, just like when the person is running before they get scared. Their body has already decided this is what's going to happen. So you can't actually find the moment between the trigger and the response, but you can catch the moment you first become aware of the automatic pilot, and that might be soon enough. You may not have started speaking yet. So the idea is you're still looking for a moment when you can change the automatic pilot. Here is the second thing I ran into. A military strategist named Colonel John Boyd came up with a mnemonic device to help decision makers remember a series of steps that are very useful in dealing with a challenging situation. And this little mnemonic device is taught throughout the military, I'm told, and in a lot of civilian situations. It's called OODA, observe, orient, decide, act. So first you observe, then you understand what's going on, then you make a choice of what you should do, and then you do it. OODA. And apparently in battle situations, to break your mind down to do that, it's very useful. In our context, these steps are to observe. Notice that the automatic pilot's about to kick in. Orient. Notice what you're about to say. Choose. Decide what you are going to say. By the way, I've been playing with this for a while, and you don't always have a choice. It's too late. The automatic pilot's too strong, and away it goes. And we were watching it saying, why am I doing this? And the act, that's observe, orient, decide, act. Do what you choose to do. Got it? Now, good. I warned one person we might have a surprise today. I didn't warn my wife, so actually I did tell her not to be upset with me no matter what I do. I'm going to give you all a chance for an extended automatic pilot. I'm going to surprise you with something. It's not supposed to be here, but one of my favorite expressions is, to a hammer, everything looks like a nail. to a singer, every audience looks like an opportunity. Hi. So I'm going to sing you a song. Nothing to do with anything, just because I like to sing and I think it's a good song, and I have the time. Time has made a change since my childhood days. Many of my friends have gone away. I'm going to take it down a little bit. Some I never more in this life will see. Time has made a change in me. Time has made a change in the old home place. Time has made a change in each smiling face. And I know my friends can plainly see. Time has made a change in me. In my childhood days, I was well and strong. I could climb the hillsides all day long. I am not today what I used to be. Time has made a change in me. When I reach my home in that land somewhere, with my friends who wait to meet me over there, free from pain and care, I'll forever be. Time has made a change in me. Time has made a change in the old home place. Time has made a change in each smiling face. And I know my friends can plainly see. Time has made a change in me. That ends my presentation.
Okay, Mom. Thank you, Harry. Our closing hymn this morning is 1045. There is a balm in Gilead. The words will be on the screens. Please rise as you are comfortable and join Carole in singing 1045. There is a balm in Gilead.
I'm going to do something with that. Phyllis says that I like to hear my own voice. I don't deny that, but that's not why I'm doing this. Often we sing a song that none of us know, and this is probably one of those. How many people have ever heard "There is a Balm in Gilead"? One, two, okay. So what I asked was if Carole could play it through just the first part, and I will, I didn't bring the words, so that'll be fun. Hopefully the words will be up there.
I can leave them, Harry, if you want me
Oh,
to.
it's in there, that's right, it's in the book. Remember where it was?
Yes, it's 1045.
What number is it?
It's right here.
1045.
I got it.
There is a balm in Gilead to save
make the wounded whole.
There is a balm
There is a balm
in Gilead
to heal the sin-sick
soul. So that's the basic tune. It goes all the way through. Hold on a second. Let me turn off the Zoom people. Okay, so now the normal. Go ahead.
Okay, here we go. There
If you cannot preach like Peter, if you cannot pray like Paul, you can tell the love of Jesus and say he died for all. There is a God in Gilead to make the wounded whole. There is a balm in Gilead to heal the sin-sick soul.
Now is the time for us to extinguish the chalice at UUFLB and within our homes. As we extinguish the flame on our chalice, we ignite it inside ourselves. Our commitment to our mission and to each other, to one another, is an unquenchable flame. Let us remember that we are not alone until we light this flame next time. And now let us join together in our closing song, Let There Be Peace on Earth.
The words will be up on the screen.
Let there be peace on earth. Let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth. The peace that was meant to be. With earth as our mother, we are family. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my solemn vow. To take each moment, live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Have a lovely day, everybody. Come back again.